Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive future updates. And there we go. We are live. Let's switch to the thing here that says a thing, and here we go. Welcome to another episode of Brino's World Live, or how to clean completely. If I can learn to speak English, again, welcome to Brino's World Live, or how to completely clean up a dirty kitchen, set up for a live stream, and do it all in 30 minutes because I'm lazy and procrastinated like you wouldn't believe. So here I am. I think I've got most, if not everything I need. I think I'm using one little thing here, as you may not be able to see here. Let's see what the camera says. Well, I don't think you can see it off screen, but I have a pasta maker right here. I've got a pot of water here, a wok here. That can only mean one thing. No, it's not pasta, it's ramen noodles. Specifically, let me show you which kind I had in mind. I have some in my cupboard here, if I can rip it out. Bob, you will be familiar with this stuff, right? This is Samyang Buldak, basically hot chicken flavor ramen, or as some people call them, Korean fire noodles. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and make these from scratch. How am I going to do that? Well, obviously I've got some ramen ingredients. Let's see who we have here first in the chat. Let's talk. Bob the Raptor's here. How you doing, Bob? Christopher Herbst, how you doing? And Judy Mills, of course. Hey. Let's see what we got here. Stash or goatee from March Madness, Christopher. Are you talking about you or me? Or if you do Fu Manchu, if you're feeling dangerous. So, again, me or you? But anyway, as I was saying though, these Samyang ramen noodles, but I'm going to try and make them from scratch. The main ingredients are going to be just this. This is all unbleached flour. A little bit of water to thicken up the stuff. And of course there's some toppings in it as well. I couldn't find any shredded nori or Japanese seaweed, but I do have some sesame seeds here as well. And of course, since these are going to be fried noodles, I got them in I got a wok here. If I was going to be good, I would have sesame seed oil, but you know what? I think avocado oil will have to suffice. But the question is, how am I going to home make the Super Samyang hot sauce? Well, I'm not. What I actually did was I went onto Amazon and I saw that they had this stuff on sale. This is actually the Samyang Buldak hot sauce in a bottle. Yes, this is the real stuff here. I smelled it. Let me open it. It's an opening here. Oh, yep. This is the real deal here. I had no clue that they actually sold this stuff separately in bottles that you could put on lots of other stuff. So this is not going to be the homemade part, obviously, but I just thought it would be cool to put some real Buldak sauce on some homemade ramen noodles just to see how it would work. Oh, also, normally I would also put, something to make the noodles basic, and in the past that was baking soda, or rather baked baking soda, since it has a very, very high pH level. But I just opened it up in that cupboard and it didn't exactly smell great, so I'm just going to use regular fresh baking soda, maybe a quarter teaspoon of that for just one serving, just to see how good it's going to be. Oh, and for the sesame seeds again, I'm actually going to put these while I'm stir frying them here in this wok. And that reminds me, I forgot one thing, which my dirty sink might make or not make a difference. Where is it? Here it is. Something went to the crap in my cupboard down there, but I don't care. Little colander, because as I remember the recipe says on the package to strain it except for maybe a few bits of water. What I like to do is I just like to fully strain it and then just quickly put it into whatever I'm stir frying in. But that's going to go in the sink for now. And of course, as always, I've got my can of cider, pineapple cider, favorite drink. I thought about getting another bottle of something, maybe something local, but did not feel up to it, so it's just going to be cider for here. And also, if you remember from last month, I decided to make a little change, not a lot of change, a whole change. Remember last month we did the, what was it, the three-way pizza. I know I said I was going to do the hot dog stuffer, but I wanted to do a change of pace. I've been doing pizza for the last 3 months, so I wanted to just, switch it up a little bit. So anyway, sip of cider to start things up. Check the chat here. What are the ingredients of What are the ingredients in the bottle of chili extract? Well, let's look over the ingredients here. I'm sure a lot of it's some corporate-y, fakey junk. Nope, those are the here it is. Ingredients in English. Water, artificial chicken flavor, bleh. Corn syrup, bleh. Soy sauce, soybean oil, right? Onion, garlic, I'm guessing in powder form or extract form. Decolorized chili extract, that's where you get your heat. Paprika extract, might get some heat and flavor there. Green tea flavor oil, and that's it. No crazy preservatives in there. That shocks me, but then again, this is not an American product, I don't think, so, well, at least it wasn't made in America, so there might not be much, so that's kind of cool. Also, just for giggles, I got another bottle with this. Bob, you will recognize this as well. This stuff, the 2X version, but I will not be using this on this episode. I'm just going to make the regular stuff. This says extremely spicy. Maybe for another video I'll make it with this stuff. But for now, back in the fridge, and one last step I need to do before we get started. Maybe I'll bring the water, let's see, to a simmer. Just to have it sort of warm before we get started. As you know, I like when I make my pasta, I kind of like to have some wax paper underneath it to when I'm working with it. So I got to tape a layer of that down. Get that out of the way. If I can, we can just cram a bunch of stuff on the side because that's what responsible people do. Or at least that's what I do. Tape, masking tape. Now this, I think I mentioned this before in other videos, but what the, again, the baking soda gives the, makes the ramen noodles a little bit basic, and that's what gives it its kind of springy, elastic, and also makes it kind of slurpy, if you will. So there is an actual real scientific chemical purpose for the baking soda, or as they would use in regular ramen, kansui water, I think is what it's called. Basically very alkaline water or something like that. So anyway, there is that. Wax paper in place. Mixing bowl. And in the past I would have used my food processor, but I don't feel like cleaning that, so I'm just going to use this and hand mixer with the dough hooks. I'm not going to use anything on this side for now, so I'm going to just tilt the camera over to this side so you can see everything. Maybe more stuff than you should. I reckon that'll do. Another sip of cider. Check the chat off screen. It says, how is the maple bacon brown ale coming along too? It's still, the maple bacon brown ale is still in the primary right now. I'm planning on filming the video to put in the secondary tomorrow, meaning the video will probably come out next week. That is something I definitely want to do. Little sneak peek here, a little sneak preview here for you. It's going to involve half a pound of bacon. What I'm going to plan to do is I'm going to bake it in the oven, drain it, and then break it into pieces and dump that into the secondary. And hopefully the beer will extract the bacony saltiness and flavor while it sits there for about maybe 2 or so weeks. And on Sunday, I'm going to try to make another beer, but I might not make a video of that, so more stuff to look for. And Bob says I used the 2X spicy sauce on wing fry. Oh my goodness. You mean you used stuff like this or the 2X stuff on buffalo wings? Or just chicken wings in general? Ooh, I like the way you think, Bob. And funny you should mention that because I actually bought some wings and I was going to make some breaded buffalo wings for dinner tomorrow. So, you are tempting me. Maybe I should try some of this stuff with at least one wing or maybe two. I don't know. We'll see how the ramen noodles go because it's been a while since I've had this stuff. So, anyway, let's get started. Let's begin with our noodles. I don't feel like putting eggs in these noodles. That's what they do with pasta. Although I've seen ramen noodle recipes with egg in it as well, so it's mainly the base that makes it more ramen noodle-like. So anyway, again, start with flour, all-purpose. In the past I've done 1 cup, but that gives me a lot of noodles. But let me think. 1 cup or 3/4. How many noodles do I want? 3/4. I'm not going to go overboard with this. Just 1 for me. That goes in there. Keep that open because I'm definitely going to need that for later. Where is the baking soda? I had it a second ago. It was there, or is it there, or where is it? Oh, this is magical. I seem to have misplaced my baking soda. So in the chat, you're probably telling me exactly where it is, like on my head or something, but oh, I had it just a second ago. Where did I put the baking soda? This is so magical. Did I put it away? Oh! Why did I put it back in here? In the cupboard back there? I was going to use it. I had it out. Why did I put it back? This is what I have to deal with when I deal with myself. So anyway, now that I've dealt with myself, and I'm ashamed of it, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. There's that. This stuff is now basic. Now I'm going to put this away into the cupboard. And just because I feel like it, I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it. And finally, do I have that little measure here? Yeah. I'll just put in a tablespoon of water to bring it all together. If I was using egg, I'd use an egg. Plug in yon mixer, or Z mixer, DAW mixer, whatever. Put the dough hooks in place. And mix the crap out of it. Adding water as needed. Not quite together yet. As you can see, it's still a little dusty. So a little more water. Alright, estimated amount, maybe a tablespoon more. Starting to clump together a little bit more. little more water. Tiny bit more. I don't know, that may have been too much, I don't know, but more flour will help out with that. Switch hands. Maybe one more blast of water ought to do it. This is what it looks like right now. A little more water ought to get it into one nice little dough ball. Ramen pray is worthless for your body. Should have made a cake. of Judy Mills is, what is the baking soda going to do for it? Well, I explained earlier, if you didn't come in time, one of the big differences between ramen noodles and regular pasta is not the baking soda, but the fact that it adds a little bit of alkalinity to it. And that actually makes the noodles a little bit more springy in texture, and also gives it a kind of a slurpy kind of character to it. Makes it a little bit more slick in the mouth. Like when you suck noodles out, it's a little bit harder. There's a little bit more friction on your lips with pasta than there is with ramen. So that's the purpose of the baking soda. So anywho, should have made a cake. Well, I don't know if a cake would be as entertaining to make for a live stream, because then there would be maybe 30, 40 or so minutes of the cake baking in the oven, and that would make for a boring live stream, wouldn't it? Not that I'm against making cakes, I like making cakes, but wouldn't be a good live stream material. But anyway, last more blast of water. That may have been too much, but I said that last time. And I think that was too much. It's kind of gloppy now, coming together. As you can see, it's soggy now, maybe, which is not what I want. So to combat that, flour goes back in. That should be enough, I hope. Oh, we're getting there. Alright, alright. It's still sticking a little bit. Get off those hooks. Getting that off the hooks. Oh, it's still sticky. So a tiny bit more flour. There we go. Get some of that off my fingers. I think I'll work with that for now. I'll just work in some of the rest of the flour with my hands. Or maybe not. So this will be a lot more noodles than I thought it was going to be. But I'm going with it. Hindsight being 2020, I should have used the food processor. I had to be lazy and not want to clean. No. this thing and other ideas. So anyway, let's... Get this dough prepared to run through the pasta maker. Get that out of the way. So much junk on my hands, it's not funny anymore. Then again, it was never funny. In the chat, I had no idea ramen parade was so much work. Bob, you are correct. Good excuse for a run to the dollar store. Baking sauce what I use for indigestion. Maybe not. I hate cheating paper plates and bowls all day. If that was an option, Nicholas. And by the way, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the coming and. But hindsight is always 20/20. So now let's. Getting some more of this here. It's still sticking. There we go. That's much better, easier to work with. Starting to get to what I want here. Let's see here. If you will bear with me for 1 second, I'm going to see if I can get the camera angle to a better thing where you can see my work environment. Bend that down there. Sorry for this. So there you go, pasta maker here, dough here. Let me get this going. So I'm going to treat this mostly like pasta, but if I remember, the Samyang ramen noodles were a little thicker compared to the other stuff, so I'll treat this more like a regular spaghetti as far as size is concerned. So I think this, missing the crank here. Can't crank the pasta without the crank. There we go. Set it first to size 1, the widest setting. Now, get used to me doing this because I'm probably going to be doing this, oh good lord, that's horrible. Probably going to be doing this, stretching it and thinning it out for about the next maybe 20 minutes or so, so you might want to get a drink at this point right now because this is going to take a while. I just want to really work the flour into this and just get this really smooth. So yeah, it's really lumpy, really thick right now, so which is not what we want for noodles. If you see my old pasta videos, you know exactly what this is like. Bob, I think you've seen these plenty of times. A while ago. And there we go. Want this to be silky smooth. It's starting to get there, but it's still really bumpy and lumpy, so I'm going to hope to work all that out. Just constantly working the flour here. Again, making homemade spaghetti is virtually the same, just without the baking soda or the consoy water. Or actually, at least the homemade spaghetti, the factory-made spaghetti is just run through like a die cutter or machine, I think. Yeah, that's not good. turn up the water just a little bit, up to medium. Get that going ahead of time. Where's the salt? We'll put some salt in the boiling water. Salt right here, I think. Putting into the boiling water, you'll just have to trust me on that. Ramen noodles. Very, very repetitive, very dull and boring. In hindsight, this may not have been a good video idea. But I just didn't want to do pizza for 4 months in a row, and not again. It's shredding on me, and I don't like that. This might still need some more flour in it. Tighten this up on the table here. There we go. Slowly crank it, slowly crank it, slowly crank it. That's a little bit better. And gradually working the more and more flour into this to smooth it out a little bit. I also wish I had a screen here so I could see the chat here without looking at it. But let me turn it around. Judy got a call. Nicholas looks like Swiss cheese, maybe feta. Shredding, roar, nay, I like it. Maybe audible to lasagna noodles. Well, if I had the ingredients to make lasagna, I would, but I don't. Although maybe I should try that sometime. Again, I think the shredding is because, again, there's not enough flour in this, which is... But that's what I'm doing here is just gradually working the flour into the dough. It's part of the noodle making process, so... But again, if I had done it the way I was supposed to in the food processors, it would probably be less of an issue. But I screwed up, so I gotta deal with it. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. Well, that was a good one. There's that. Plenty of cleaning we'll have to do here. But then just nothing with a damn towel can do with some of this flour. I'm getting there though. Tighten it a little more. Cranka, 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 cranka. It's looking smoother already. Not quite where I want to be for noodle making yet, but we're getting there. think I realized in hindsight ramen noodles was a bad idea, given that I'm out of practice as far as making homemade noodles is concerned, but I just forgot how long and how tedious of a process this is. But we are getting close. Yeah, ripping. Oh no. So close. And yet so far. I think I remember what I did before. Normal noodle rolling practitioners say you fold it 3 ways. I like to fold it, whereas I folded it 2 ways before, kind of to prevent this crimping and ripping and such. So maybe that's what I ought to do. Here we go. Getting there, There we go. Double, not triple. Go for second base, not for third. We are heading there. Meanwhile, we took a look at the hot water. It's crank it back up to 6. Billy is here. Hey! If you haven't noticed, Billy, I am attempting to make some ramen noodles, but not just any. Ramen noodles from scratch. This has baking soda instead of the whatever it's called, consui water that makes the turns regular noodles into ramen noodles. Plus, this stuff. This is Samyang Buldak sauce. This is what was used in those Korean fire noodles. I realized about a month or so ago they sell this stuff, that same sauce, in a bottle. So I'm going to put this on some homemade noodles with some sesame seeds for flavor. But first, a sip of some pineapples hard cider from Ace. You'll have to trust me on that one. Right now I'm going through the very, very dull, boring, and tedious process of rolling out the noodle dough. I think I've finally, if not gotten the hang of it, I'm back in my stride now. As soon as this gets almost fully smooth and thin, not thin, but fully smooth, that's when I'm going to start thinning this out and then running it through some more rollers to give me some noodles. Here we go again. I said, go on, get in there. Ah! No, don't get out of there, get in there. Come on. Come on, crank. Come on, crank. There we go. Oh, this is getting thick. Aha. Getting there. We may end up with a lot of noodles here, maybe enough for 2 servings. Which is okay, but this is on for lunch tomorrow, maybe. Roll, 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 roll. Getting there. Get this tape out of here. Don't need it no more. Tell you what, if this comes out relatively smooth on the sides, I'm just gonna go with it. Or maybe not. Alright. Came out wrong on the sides. Uneven on the sides. Maybe one more try and this will work. Almost there though, I think. I apologize if this is boring you, ladies and gentlemen, because, well, ladies, gentlemen, and raptors, so. Alright, here we go. Oh, not anymore on the side again. On the plus side, though, this texture is getting kind of nice and smooth, which is what I want. So it's not all bad news. Get in there. Stay on there. Come on out of here. You know what? I'm gonna call that done. The noodles on the sides, I'll just toss them or something, or just make something weird out of it, or throw it away. So anyway, now time to thin it out. Right now the setting's at 1. This knob here goes all the way up to 7. I like to do it for regular spaghetti or regular noodles at 5. So I'm going to go through it a little bit at a time. While still keeping this thing sort of floured to keep it sliding, keep the friction up. Just gradually. Is anything going to go right on this live stream? Here we go. Answers in the comments. Now I'm at a point right now, and I think this is getting a little big, so I'm going to just chop this in half with my pizza wheel. And I'm also going to get a, let's see, my good plate. This plate here where I will put the noodles when they are done going through the roller and cut. So now to number 3. I'm going to save this for when I'm done with this half. Here we go, number 3. Roll, 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 roll. They see me rolling. Don't know the rest of the words. Number 4. Let's get this in here. Thinning this out. Looking good, I think. Something's going right for a change. Get this paper out of the way. As my water is just starting to boil, steam, actually. Another swig of cider. Check the chat room. 52, sunny and windy. I'm assuming that's in California. As my cell phone goes off in the background, playing the theme of the now former Undisputed Era from NXT. Bob the Raptor, 48 and sunny in Cleveland. It's Probably slightly cooler here in Dayton, though I haven't really checked the temperature. But anyway, let's get to the end of this half of the dough. Oh wait, am I on number 5? This is number 5. Number 5, here we go. Is that 5? Yeah, it's 5. All right. Aha. So that's the plain dough. Now I think if I wanted to make lasagna and I didn't put baking soda in this. Someone's calling me again? Hold on one second. I'm going to take care of this. What's up? Is it okay? Yes, I'm live. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. You know who you are. Don't ever do that again. Having said that, wait, am I streaming live? Yes, I am live here, so let's see, earlier in the chat says, Chris says, Kim and I want Brian to make fettuccine alfredo next. I've made fettuccine alfredo before with truffle alfredo sauce, so that's on an earlier video, so that was actually really good, by the way. So anyway, now then, so anywho, swipe. Now we're going to get to a different part here. Instead of using this part of the roller, I'm going to use this part for cutting the noodles. And then put them in a bunch on this plate. And do it as quickly as possible so they don't clump together. So now, wait a minute. Actually, yeah, I'm good. Normally I put these on a pasta rack, but I've got no space to put them in. Plus I'm just going to boil them right away because the water is just starting to boil, so we may have perfect timing here. So here, into the noodle cutting machine here. Gotta make sure I get it to just the right spot. Here we go, there we go. Noodles coming through. What the heck just happened? Oh, I'm trying to pull them away. It's hard for me to see when I'm going blind like this. But anyway, first batch of noodles done. A little bit got into the floor, but that's okay. So now I'm going to have to work extra quickly before that clumps together. And again, good thing the water's going, so I can do this quickly. In fact, I think I'll turn the wok on as well at the 6th bit so I can get to some stir frying once that's ready. Now I'm back into this slot here. Number 3, second half of the dough. There we go. There we go. Switch it to 4. Chop it down to 4. Here we go. Very, very good. Rest of this flour here. Put some of that flour. Get that away from there. Make sure it's at number 5. It is number 5. Perfect. Oh my god, that's pretty. Pretty as a picture. Maybe not pretty as a masterpiece, but pretty as a picture. And now, quickly. And I heard a buzz from something. Let's take a look. Billy says there's a cider bar restaurant up in Eureka. A couple days ago I made seafood lasagna pretty good. Ooh, nice. So now, what am I doing here? Yep, I'm in the spaghetti cutter. If I can get this in here at just the right angle without squishing stuff. This is critical. Usually I'm not on this kind of a time crunch, but aha! Got it. Why is this happening? Aha, there we go. I'm sorry my shoulder's in the way. I've got to get a good handle on this pasta, or not pasta, noodles. There we go. More ramen noodles are here for your viewing pleasure. Back on the plate we go. And so now I'm going to quickly switch the camera back to the other side. Apologies for the creaking from my crappy tripod. I gotta get a new one. And while we're at it, I think I'll switch camera views over to the split screen. Is everything working fine with the stream? Can you see me fine? Let's take a look here. What was I doing? Aha, this. Split screen mode right here, You can see the water is boiling. The wok is warming up. Let's see if I can't get this camera situated in the right spot. There we go. I think I'll pour a little bit of avocado oil into the wok so we can get that going, because normally in the crikey. Normally with those noodles, I think they're fried to dry them out a little bit so they've got some fat in them already. That is not the case with these noodles with no oil in them. So I'm going to take these noodles, set the timer maybe 5 minutes. That's usually along how I cook fresh pasta or noodles, and away we ploppity plop go. Can I find my pasta schmigabajig? And so now, how much of this stuff should I put in? I'm thinking maybe a couple teaspoons of this stuff. I think the normal serving size is 1 teaspoon, so that's about 2 servings worth of noodles. Probably save some for lunch tomorrow. Back there. Do I salt the water? Well, I did salt this water here, so that'll be nice. I mean, normally when you cook ramen noodles, the dried kind, you don't put salt in that. But then again, those are noodles that are pre-cooked and then fried till they're dry. No, wait, these are. I'm wondering, did I use a big enough pot for this? Let me crank the heat up on this a little bit. Either that or there's just not enough room for the boiling action. I am now getting concerned. There's not much boiling action here. I think I put too much pasta in this at once. Maybe I should have done this in small batches, given how big the piece of dough turned out. Meanwhile, this wok with the avocado oil is doing nice. Do you have any green onion in the fridge? Yes, I do. This would be nice for plain. Chris is half the bottle. You first. Ah, crikey, crap. Oh boy. A boil over. Well, I suppose worse things could have happened. It's going to be a pain in the ass for me to clean. Let's see. I'm going to apologize for the noise, but... Oh, a fat load of good the fan is doing. No. Boil over. I don't want to clean this stuff tonight. I don't want to clean it. Ah! Drink my sorrows. Ah! Ramen noodle boiling gone wrong. Ah! Yeah. Well, in good news, maybe that boiling over got rid of some of that water, so... Turn that heat down a little bit. Maybe I'll up the cooking time by 1 minute to compensate for this. The lack of boilination. Is that a word? So here we go. Come on. Ah. And of course, there will also be some sesame seeds in this. You're saying, now again, Chris, you're saying green onions would be good for plating. Again, more boiling. Normally, this stuff comes with some seaweed strips, some bits of nori. I couldn't really find shredded stuff anywhere. At least none of my normal grocery stores. I didn't expect it, so I'm just going to go with it as is. Plus, this sauce is a little bit on the dark side, so that will affect its color. Not gonna turn it off. We'll just make it even funnier when I fail. Come on. What time is it? I think some of the water from this is getting into the wok, going sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Let's get a little... hot. One more minute. It's definitely slurpy, but it's definitely a little on the chewy side, maybe al dente, but I don't think that's what ramen noodles are supposed to be like, so I'm just going to let it go again another minute. I think it's just the sheer volume of noodles that are in here that's taking so long to cook. But no more than this extra minute. Because normally fresh pasta takes very little time to cook versus its dried stuff. But then again, that's pasta, this is ramen, and then oh my goodness. Things are getting destroyed everywhere. Let me get this out of the way. Where's the cap? Here's the cap to my avocado oil. Okay, so now, once this timer goes off, I'm going to strain it, quickly put it back in the wok, get some sesame seeds in, get this stuff in, and then we'll be off to the races. Turn that off. Alright. Ah. Here come the noodles. Ah. Here we go now with the salsa. Where's the... Eyeball it. 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons, we'll call that. Now where's this thing here? Oh my God, that smell. That smells very, very familiar. Now, because toasted sesame seeds are good. Sesame seeds. And it would help if I took the paper thing off. Well, good enough. And a lot of it's sesame seeds, I like them. I probably should let these noodles dry for a little bit before putting them right into the water. These are just a little bit clumpy. Well, you'll learn things when you do them the first time, so not random crap flying everywhere. So tell you what, one more flip. These things are starting to clump together. Well, this could have gone a whole lot better. But it probably could have gone a whole lot worse too. So anyway, I'm just going to put these into containers. Get this back to a horizontal or that kind of base here. Turn this thingling off. Get another dingling here for lunch. First things first. Some of this here, some of that there. Some of this into the lunch container for tomorrow. Yeah. So, okay, well, I guess here we go. Homemade Korean fire noodles gone wrong. That's as good an example as I can come with any. It's been wow. It's been a long time since I've had a live stream of any kind go wrong like this. But you know what? I was due. So, and as my favorite TV show, Mythbuster says, failure is always an option. But let's not beat myself up too much. Let's taste this first. Actually, you know what? Finish up the rest of this pineapple cider for good luck. Ooh, the side of the glass is warm. One more look at the comments. It's kind of cruel how the aroma is coming right up into the camera. This one, yeah. The smell, once I got the sauce in, smelled exactly like Korean fire noodles, but the texture and the globbiness together, not so much. Again, this could have benefited from, the noodles could have benefited from drying a bit. And probably I put too many noodles in the pot at once. I probably should have divvied it up. But let's switch back to the main camera. Here we go. So now, let's have a little taste just to see if it was any good. And I think given this failure, it's probably good I didn't have those green onions for whatever, as Christopher suggested. But anyway, here we are. Korean fire, whatever these are. Cheers. Yeah, it's a gloppy mess. I'm definitely getting the Korean fire noodle flavor, but the noodles are, and there's nothing wrong with the noodles flavor, but it's just that it's a gloppy mess. Hot. Hot bit of this. So, anyway, I am getting the Korean fire noodle flavor from the sauce. And I definitely get the sesame seeds in there. Unfortunately, those are the only things I can say that are good about this. You know what? Heck with it. I'm gonna do something stupid. Add a little more of this sauce in here just to torture myself. One drop or two, one or two, maybe three, and four. I'm going stupid. Add some more heat and punishment for the fit. Oh my god! Actually, that smell. The smell actually helped a little bit. The aroma's good. So, here we go, more heat. Yeah. I need to work on these noodles here. Specifically, like I said earlier, normally when I make noodles I use the, the food processor to put the water and flour together. I should have done that there first time around. I set myself up for failure all around. But, oh well. You live and learn. Well, since we're near the end of the live stream, I suppose I better get one more cider. And if you've seen my live streams before, you know what's coming next. I think next week, next month, I'm definitely going to go back to pizza, since that's what I'm definitely good at for live streams. I already have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I'm going to keep it a secret until then. So who else do we have here? Start marching. Nah, not for this stuff. For the double stuff, maybe. Although Bob said at one time he tried putting, what was it, either the 1X or the 2X on buffalo wings, but since I'm cooking wings tomorrow, off camera, maybe I'll do that. But anyway, as you know, at the end of the live stream, I do a chug. I don't think I deserve it here, but I'm going to do it anyway because I need to forget about this mess. So, cheers to failure. Of course, I failed on the jug too. How appropriate. Well, rogue noodle got on my finger. So anyway, on that terrible disappointment, thank you for tuning into another live stream here on Brino's World. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, or if you enjoy my failures, leave a comment down below or say something on the live stream. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, excuse me. And click the bell icon wherever the heck it is to be first to be notified of future notifications. Hopefully it'll lead me actually making something good instead of something bad like this. So once again, thank you very, very much for watching. Have yourself a good Friday and weekend. Thanks Chris, thanks Nick for coming by, thanks Billy for coming by. Bob, I don't know if you've left. You probably left already for the trips, but I may join you in a second. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Have yourself a good one.